So drop some love in the chat, lock in and enjoy because the next hour is going to change your life. Mirjana, the stage is yours.
Hello, hello. First of all, thank you so much for the kind words. I'm super excited to be here today and to speak to you about UGC, guys. I know it's a topic that so many people speak about and so many people have interest in. So, yeah, I want to give you some information today that can help you scale your business. And for you guys that know me, I always have presentations, so there's no call with me without a presentation. So I'm also gonna share my screen. One second. All right, perfect. You should be able to see my screen now, right? Is fine. Yeah, perfect. All right. So, with that being said, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mirjana. I'm originally from Germany, Croatia. It's not so important. I'm living now in Dubai since almost 4 years, I guess. And yeah, I really found my passion inside the UGC space. And I know some of you maybe not don't know what UGC is. I want to get that out of the way in 1 minute real quick because the other slides will be more in depth. Because for those of you who don't know what UGC is, UGC is pretty much content creation, but for brands. So you are not an influencer. You are creating content for companies. You send them the content, specifically videos, and they post it on their channels. And that's what you get actually paid for. So you're doing almost the same as an influencer, but you don't need to have the reach. You're not posting it yourself. So that's pretty much what UGC is about. And yes, you can actually build yourself a full-time income out of it. That's also why we chose the name for the topic today, right? So I'm going to share with you guys how to actually scale your business and how you can really make it from a hobby income, side time income to a full-time income. So with that being said, let's go to the very first slide, which is why most creators actually stay stuck. So in this world, a lot of people are starting with UGC, but many don't make it. They stay stuck. Maybe some even give up, because they have specific things that they don't take care of. And the very first thing is one-off deals. So just those one-time deals, nothing sustainable, nothing long-term, just having one video for a brand and that's it. I mean, it's nice for the moment, of course. In the beginning, you're going to have a lot of those one-time deals. It's normal. But with time, if you want to scale, you need to make sure that you're going from those one-time deals to bigger deals, okay? And by the way, guys, I can really recommend you to write down what we talk about today because you're going to forget it 100%, okay? So make sure to take notes. Next one would be to not upsell because inside the UGC space, you don't only sell one video, you have so many other things around it that you can actually sell. So that's also something that many creators just don't do. Like they don't even put effort in selling the extras. It's basically like, imagine you're in the supermarket and always at the end there's like the nice candy and those nice things that you grab before you go home, and that's pretty much what you need to do as a UGC creator. So you sell them the main thing, but then at the end you need to sell some extras to like easy grab. So that's pretty much the upsell. And then the next one is not a single retainer client. Retainer clients are clients that you have a contract with for a specific amount of months, which is obviously giving you a fixed income. I have retainer clients. I love my retainer clients, and I can recommend everyone as soon as possible to get them. But we will get to the topic also in a second. And the next one is no pricing psychology. So that's also something we will discuss in a second how that works. But many creators just don't have that, don't even know what it is. And lastly, or just generally speaking, basically thinking like an employee. Because if you're doing UGC, if you want to build yourself a full-time business out of this profession, then you need to think like an entrepreneur. Like you cannot think as an employee waiting for someone to tell you something. You need to take action. You need to do everything on your own because you are like wearing many hats. You're not just creating a video, you're also, emailing with the companies, you are scripting, you are sending invoices, you are, there's like a lot of different things to it. So it's basically a full-on business and you should treat it like that because then it will also treat you back like it, because then obviously it will show in the money. So when it comes to retainer clients, what I just told you, so basically how a retainer client works. It's like that, for example, you have a contract with a company and they tell you, hey, for the next 6 months, we make a contract. You're going to send us 10 videos per month and we're going to send you XYZ, euros per month. So that's basically what it says. And that obviously gives you a relief, a security, because you know for the next 6 months, you're going to have this client that gives you that amount of money and you're going to give them that amount of videos. Easy, right? So that's something that I would definitely recommend you as soon as possible. And I made some, calculations there, the UGC math with retainer clients, which is, for example, let's say you would have 5 retainer clients, each 2,000 euros, then you would already be at 10K. Or, for example, four, each 2.5, or 2 retainer clients, each 5K. This would obviously be a bigger retainer client, or maybe even a social media management client. But, that's just some math. But obviously, at the end of the day, it will not look that simple. You're going to have multiple clients paying you different amounts of money. And also you're going to have still those deals where you just have one video here, 2 videos there, 5 videos here. So it's not only going to be those fixed clients, but you see it here, it is powerful because if you have a few, already done, it's very nice. So next thing is lowering down one video deals. So what you want to do if you're starting out with UGC, as I said, it's normal. You're going to have deals where you have one video only. And it still happens in the future. I also have deals still here and there for one video only, okay? And I don't mind it. I also negotiated well. But the thing is that you should lower that, okay? So it should not be your whole income to have only one video, one video, one video, one video, one video. You have to have more. And the first thing that you should do is you can do a price change. That's something that you don't have to do in the very beginning, but after a couple of months, let's say latest, you can do a price change. What do I mean? So you can do it that way. For example, let's say in your prices, you sell one video, you sell 2 videos, 3, 4, and 5, okay? And the thing is that most people do it that way that let's say, for example, for one video, they charge 150 euros as a beginner. And then they do 2 videos, for example, 280 euros. So with 2 videos, it's a little discount. But what you can actually do in the future, you can raise the price for the one video. So let's say as an example, one video then is, let's say 220 euros and 2 videos is still 280, just as an example, okay? Just to make it easier for you to imagine it. So when a brand actually sees your rate card, they're gonna see, oh, like one video compared to two, like it's not much of a bit difference. So obviously they're gonna tend to take 2 videos immediately. So it's very simple actually. You just need to make the price of one video higher. So that's like one very easy trick that you can try out. Next one would be upselling. So that's something that you can do if you have a client that says, hey, I only want to buy one video, then you can get them to buy more than one video with giving them ideas, guys. That's the easiest way. You just need to be creative. Obviously, creativity, it will pay you at the end of the day. Wait, let me move that here. Creativity will pay you at the end of the day. So what you can do is basically telling them, oh, like I have a very good idea for a second video we can shoot because it would fit this and that. You just give them ideas and they will sit there on their laptop, be like, oh, that's such a nice idea. Let's do 2 videos. Let's do 3 videos. So it's just about, like if you put in the effort, you can make one video to 2, 3, even 5, even, how much you want if you have like very nice ideas and the brand likes them. So that's also a trick I can give you. And lastly, what we already talked about, retainer slash social media management. For those of you who don't know what social media management is, it's basically you also managing the social media account of a client. And that's something a lot of UGC creators go into, me too, to even develop further. So you're not just doing UGC content, you're also, for example, doing social media management. And that means, for example, posting the content. So you get access to the account of the client, you are posting the content, you are writing the captions, you are maybe even posting stories, maybe reacting to comments. It can have a lot of different things. And when you are a social media manager, it's not always exactly the same. And wait, someone has their sound on, no? There was just a sound. Okay, I think it's fine. But that's what you can also do, right? So if you are interested in doing social media management, we also will do a session about that soon on how to start with this, because I know a lot of people are interested in that topic too. And as I said, I have a lot of experience in social media management, so that's something that's also interesting. So then the next one, guys, if you never ask, you will never know. And I swear by that. It's like so many people, they don't get specific deals, they don't get any upsells, they don't get what they actually want because they don't ask. Like, what is the worst thing that can happen? If you propose a brand a second video or anything in that sense, and the worst thing is they say, no, we're not interested, we only need this right now, blah, 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 it's fine. Like at least you asked, it could have been the case that they say yes, and that could have bring you in money. So just put that sentence very big in your head. If you never ask, you never know. So just ask. And you can ask, when it comes to usage rights. So many creators are too clumsy when it comes to usage rights. So how many months, years, whatever, the brand can actually use your content specifically for paid advertisements, so that they put ads to push out your video. And you should be strict with that, guys. I have brands all the time texting me, hey, the usage rights are expired. Can we extend them? And I'm going to send them an invoice. And they pay me only for the usage rights, not for a new video, right? So you need to be strict. And some people, they don't care about it. They're just sending out videos. They don't make contracts. They don't have any usage rights limits. And that's not how you should handle your business. Okay, please make sure that you do it that way. Then, as we already said, if you never ask to get a client as a retainer client or even social media management, you also never know. The client will not always come to you. You need to ask. Like if they were very happy with your videos, I even had it yesterday, new case. They told me they were so happy, and if there's an option that we can close a retainer. In that sense, the brand asked, which is obviously also nice, but it doesn't always have to be like that. You can also ask the brand. Let's say they complimented you and they said they're very happy. Then you can propose them, hey, if you are interested, we can do also a monthly, way of working together. I'm going to give you that amount of videos per month, and this would be the payment for that. Just ask. Maybe they will say yes. There's actually a big chance. A lot of times they will say yes. And also social media management. If you maybe heard the brand doesn't have a social media manager, maybe they're struggling with something, maybe they want to change their social media manager, or maybe they need more than one or two, or how many they have, it can have all the different topics, but just ask. Maybe they hire you for that also as a freelancer. I would always recommend do it as a freelancer. Don't get yourself hired. Um, Next one would be ad data. So if a brand used your video for ads, ask them about the data, because you can use that for case studies. You can show that your videos already performed well. It's only a big plus point. It's only positive. So always ask about the data if they use it for ads. And lastly, of course, any kind of other upsells. You can ask them, hey, do you need the raw footage? Do you need an extra hook? Like it can literally be anything. Just ask. They might take it. So many creators out there have so much, money flowing through their hands or out of their hands because they just never ask that stuff. And don't be that person. If you're already doing UGC, and maybe you will catch yourself now not doing those things yet, but from today on, you will do them. Then the world is your niche. Very important, guys. If you want to scale and really make it big inside the space, you need to understand that the world is your niche. What do I mean with that? You should not have a niche, okay? I know it's very controversial. Like some people say you have to have a niche, and it's very important. But honestly, as a UGC creator, why? Like, don't get a niche. Like, truly, honestly, just do everything that you stand behind the products and services that you actually like and want to do, but don't be the creator that says, oh, I only want to do beauty, for example. I had a call 2 days ago with a girl, and she said like, hey, what is the best paid niche inside the UGC space. And then I asked her, like, what do you think is the best paid one? And she said beauty. And that's not to shame her or anything, it's totally fine. But the thing is, so many, especially women, always tend to do only beauty content. Honestly, I personally don't even like to do beauty content that much. I don't know, like skincare, makeup, it's fine, I've done it, of course, but it's not even my favorite niche. But the thing is, I'm still doing it, of course, and you should be doing too. And by the way, the highest paid niche is the tech niche. Okay, so if you want to know tech, everything that's online, like no physical products really, is the biggest paid mostly. So yeah, but still, don't only do tech content from now on. Still be open to any niche, okay? And here you're gonna see a lot of examples what you can do, and it's so nice to explore all those niches because you will gain a lot of experience. It will be so much fun also. Then be non-replaceable, be you. If you want to make it big, again, guys, like this presentation, this call today, our part is just about making it big inside of the UGC space. You need to be non-replaceable. Like if you are doing basic videos, like everyone else, you're not showing any personality. It's nothing, like really basic, basic, basic. Of course, you can get replaced. Like they can book any other person to do that, and it will look almost the same probably. So you need to have something special about you and the content. And yes, you have 1,000 things that are special about you and that make yourself unique. And you need to show it in the content. It's called USPs, unique selling points. Everything like if you look around maybe in your apartment where you are right now, you probably have like a lot of, physical things laying around in your apartment. And you bought them one day in a store because you thought, oh, this is a product that I want compared to the other ones that I, not want that are maybe similar because it has a special feature. Maybe it's a special, I don't know, color, function, I know that's hard to say, but the thing is, it needs to be something special. And the thing is that you also have so many things that you can show. Some people are maybe very funny. Like if you are a person that's like joking around all the time, you're super funny, show it in the content. Be like that. Like make the content very funny, very, this kind of style. Just whatever you are, show it. Like don't hide. If you hide, that's the worst thing you can do. Show who you really are, and brands will love it. And you're not going to be replaceable because if they want to have that kind of content, they're going to reach out to you. Then the next one is to pitch personalized. That's something I swear by, guys. Of course, still, I'm in the opinion that if you want to make it big with UGC, you have to post on social media to attract clients. I personally nowadays only solely work off of inbounds. I'm not pitching anymore because I have so many inbounds that I cannot even take all of the inbounds I'm getting because it's too many inbounds. But that obviously took a lot of time, okay? That didn't come from one day to the other. But that's the goal I want to reach with every single one of you. And we also talk about that in our sessions a lot, how that works and how you can actually get more inbounds. So if you want to know how to get more inbounds, go to the sessions. But one thing you have to do also is to pitch personalized because right now, if you don't have enough inbounds to be able to live off of UGC, you need to pitch. There's no way around it. You need to pitch until you reach that day where you have the inbounds at that point where you don't need to pitch anymore. But right now, you're pitching. And you need to do it personalized. Like if you're sending out that basic pitches, then it's gonna be all like the brands will not take it serious. It's gonna probably be in the trash, in the email inbox. So you need to make it special. You need to make it creative. So I would even recommend you to pitch less brands, but better, more personalized and putting more effort into the pitch. Sending them already one, two small content ideas, showing that you actually took a look at their products, at their website, at their socials, instead of sending. I know it's easier, guys, of course. Like if you have one message that's always the same and you're sending it out to all the brands, of course it's easier. Like I get it. It's tempting, but it's just, the results is not going to be the same. You're not going to get as much deals, and also the deals that you are getting will not be as high quality. So make it personalized. If you don't know how to pitch personalized, go on the sessions too, because we talk about it also on the sessions, how to do that. Then next one is to actually help the brand. I know that sounds very weird because you think, oh, like if I'm doing UGC videos for clients, I of course want to help them, right? But the problem is, to be honest, and I was also like that in the beginning, not gonna lie. We're only thinking about our own paycheck in that sense and not really about, okay, it's really about helping the brand now scaling and really making, the big money out of it. Of course, like in the beginning, I was still also thinking about that, but I was still too much thinking about, oh, I'm making money off this now, like, oh, I sold a video. That's so exciting. And of course, it's exciting, but you have to really understand you are the solution for the brand, guys. They take you as an expert because they know if they hire you, they have the hope, at least if they hire you, they're going to get real results and they can boost their brand. They can get, results in specific areas that they want to have results in. And that should be your focus always. I know we talked today about how to make a full-time income, but still, right now for this topic, put the money in that sense on the side and really think about it. Hey, you are here to help brands. You are here to actually figure out how you can be the best creator possible and how you can make them the best video possible so it actually works. And that's why I also wrote here at the bottom, become a performance creator. If you do that, guys, if you actually put yourself so much in the position of the brand every single time, you're gonna get results. It's coming. Like sooner or later, trust me, it's coming. And you will be able to show those results to future clients. And they're gonna see you already have a performance, you already have results, you already have something that they know, wow, like if we work with him, if we work with her, it's probably gonna be pretty good. So that's what you should focus on because the brands will, especially the high quality brands that also pay better, it's all a circle, and they will come to you for that if you are focusing on your performance always. Then professionalism. I'm a big person that's always like, hey, professionalism number one. It's with everything, guys. The whole collaboration from start to finish has to be super professional. You need to have a professional communication, fast communication. You need to make sure that you're always polite. Some brands, it happens. I've also had that many times already. They are a little bit stressful and they're not maybe as nice sometimes. And as, kind as you wish them to. So you still need to be nice. Like even if the brand says something that triggers you, you gotta stay professional because why would you front back or something, like that's not, you don't want to get in a fight or something with a brand. So always be professional, be kind, be polite, try to find solutions. You are a solution finder, not a problem maker. Okay. If you are stressful and making more problems, no, like you need to find solutions here. So that's super, super important. So professionalism always from start to finish in every collaboration. You will see it will show in your results. It will show in the clients that you're going to attract. Then negotiation, like only this point can change anything. Like with this point, like I'm not even overdoing it. If you know how to negotiate, you can probably even double your income easily just because you can negotiate, just because you know how to do that. Because with every single deal, there's most of the time more room. There's more room to get more income out of it, right? And what you need to do is you need to be able to spot a brand's true budget. Because of course you're going to work with a lot of different brands and some brands they have a very good budget, but some brands they really honestly don't because they're just starting out. They're like a one person startup, whatever it might be. So you need to be able to spot that. That would be way too much to explain that now. We also did that on the sessions. We're going to do that over and over again in the future. So I can only tell you guys be on the sessions, like don't miss the sessions. But you need to be able to do that, and then you will be able to negotiate like a king, like a queen, because you know what you can actually get out of the deal and you're going to be confident. Guys, I can tell you so many negotiation stories. We can do a session about that one time, about what was the original price and what I've put it to. I think that would be interesting maybe to see, because then you will realize, wow, like there is so much more always to it because brands lowball you. They always give you a very low rate and there's so much more to it. So definitely always negotiate. And with that being said, guys, we are at the end. And my question to you now is, what is your goal for Q1? Like, what do you want to reach in the UGC space this first quarter? I don't know for you, but we already have the 20. Okay, for me now, the 22nd is already after midnight, 21st. We have the 21st of January, and that's crazy. I don't know if you already reached the things in the first month of this year that you wanted to, but I'm sure many people sit here right now and be like, it kind of flew by a little bit too fast, and I've not really done much yet, you know? And it's totally fine, you know? If it was not the best so far, it can be from today on, okay? Don't worry about it. But the thing is, you need to have goals. Like, if you are just going around like, hey, you know, I want to make money with this, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be much harder. So, I always reached my biggest milestones in the UGC space when I had exact numbers, an exact vision, exact goals, what I want to reach. And I do that still every single month. Every single month I write down, I have like a table and timetable, like not timetable, like a thing where I always write down what I earned this month with UGC, and I write down for the next month what my goal is, you know. So I have it in the back of my mind every single day that this is my goal, and it motivates me. It motivates me to take on more deals, to negotiate better, to do this, to do that, because I know at the end of the day, hey, that is my goal. If I want to reach it, I should make sure to do the things that I'm supposed to do. So please, please, if you have not done that yet, from today on, you need to make sure that you're setting yourself some goals, because otherwise it's going to be so much harder for you. All right. So I hope that gave you some guidance and some clarity on how to actually scale your business. I know it was maybe a little bit more in depth today, but I'm sure everyone still understood what we were talking about, right? It was not complicated or anything. So now it's your turn, guys. I gave you now all the information that you need to know, but what comes from today on, I cannot influence, you know? You have to decide yourself now if you take the things that I said today seriously, and also if you're going to attend the sessions, be active. The people who are the most active in the session chats, they have the most results. It's crazy. I see it from week to week to week. So I hope to see you there. I'm seeing a lot of faces, a lot of names here. So I would love to also basically see that on the sessions. So with that being said, thank you so, so much for giving me the space to speak here today. I'm super excited for the upcoming weeks, and I'm giving the word back to Jordi. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Mirjana, for the phenomenal value. You took so many notes and you make everything seem so simple. And honestly, what I take away from this is just be yourself, dare to ask, and by being yourself, be different, right? So thank you so, so much. For those that are new on the call, you can definitely learn more from Mirjana on within our community. But if you have any questions by lack of time, Mirjana, if you're still there, maybe drop in the chat where they can find you on Instagram so that they might ask you a question over there, because I know there were a couple of questions. So thank you for that. We're going to go straight to the next speaker. We have 25 more minutes, so do your best to focus on that. So that was content creation, right? UGC. Now we're going to speak about a completely different way of online business, right? And that's Forex trading. Drop a one in the chat if you have experience with Forex trading, if you've ever set a trade, if you won, if you're lost. Let's keep that in the middle. Drop a two in the chat if that's completely new for you. All right. I see a couple of twos, see a lot of ones. That's amazing. Who we gonna like the person we're gonna learn from right now is someone that taught me everything I know about trading. Someone that is living full-time off of trading the last 5 years and is now living his self-sustainable life in Portugal, building his own house. Like you should see him on TikTok. You can follow him after this call. But he's a super inspiring individual, super disciplined, and really just going after life. And he's one of these humble human beings as well. When you see him, he's a machine, but he's like sweet at the same time. He will always like help you out with everything. He has built and helped people all over the world, and is actually a certified Forex educator. If I'm not mistaken, the only one in Europe, which is mind blowing. And he as well, usually teaching the many in the world. humbles himself today to be here on this call to teach us how to understand trading, what trading can do for you. And yeah, I'm just gonna get off the stage and give the word to you, Jens. So people, focus, buckle up, take notes, and drop some love in the chat for Jens for being here. Jens, stage is yours, man.
All right, all right, all right. Can everyone hear me loud and clear? Put some fire in the chat for Jordi. Put some fire in the chat for Miriana. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Social media is insane. The fact that you can make a full-time income and more through social media without even having a following is crazy. I've been trying to build a brand, but haven't been able to monetize it yet. So I'm gonna hop on Miriana's sessions as well too. But today I'm gonna talk about a bit more regarding forex trading. And I saw that some people already have experience with forex trading, some don't. Um, and just to give a bit of context, personally I'm from Antwerp in Belgium, so I think a lot of people are from that area as well too. If you're from anywhere else, that's amazing as well too, of course. But I used to be in the restaurant business. So when I was like, I believe 14 years old, I was not legal, but when I was 14 years old, I started working in a local pub. It was like a family business, etc. And from there, I grew into that business. And by the time I was 19, I already realized like this is not what I want to keep doing. All right. This is just not what's meant for me. And if it's meant for someone else, that's amazing. And I respect them for it. But for me, I wanted to have the freedom of time and location. And of course, eventually the freedom in finances as well too. Let me know in the chat, what is the kind of freedom that you are mainly looking for? I see Lokeren. I see a camera of Jordan. Like I think that's in Lokeren. There, the whole room is filled. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, you want to have time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom. Cool, amazing. Now, what fit for me? That's a shoe that just it fit the foot. Let's say was online ways of creating income. Now, I'm not here to convince you of online income. I'm not here to show you that it's possible because I believe that everyone here already knows that it is possible, right? Or 6 years ago when I started, online income was a scary kind of thing, right? 2018, 2019, people were like, what is this all about? But now it's the most mainstream thing out there. You just got to pick and choose the right vehicle, right? And for me, that vehicle has been Zinride for since the beginning. Actually, in this community, has been the vehicle for me. Now, let me dive into a little presentation. Usually I don't really use them, but when I'm on a time schedule, I like to use a presentation because otherwise I just keep talking and I don't want to, I don't want to waste anyone's time here today. So again, make sure to take some notes. We're going to go into some knowledge here, into some material that you can take with you to use and build a structure as a trader. So the first thing is, of course, welcome to the Digital Bootcamp. This is the first day of 2. Tomorrow we have another day on the Digital Bootcamp, which is going to be another call with some amazing value. Now, what I'm going to talk about mostly on this Digital Bootcamp is, first of all, what is trading, then the Quadrex strategy, and basically the strategy that we use on the sessions, and then the goal in trading, right? So the first thing you need to know in trading is you are trading markets, right? So you're buying and selling. Just like you have stocks, you have crypto, you also have Forex. Now, Forex is a bit weird for some people. Most people know what a stock is, right? I'm investing in stocks. If I buy it, it goes up, I make money. If I buy it, it goes down, we're losing. Same with crypto. Most people get that kind of investing. The same goes for real estate, etc. That's just, the generic way of investing. But once you start day trading and more specifically leverage trading, that's where something gets interesting. Because now you can not only create an income or profit through upward movements in the market, you can also benefit from downwards movements in the market. And I found that interesting. I read a bit more about it, and then you read or you see the movies like The Big Short and stuff, where they are completely screwing up companies, etc., by shorting companies, etc., etc. And that has an ethical stigma around it. Now, the good thing is in Forex, the ethical stigma is not there because you can never short a pair without another, short a currency without another currency going up. They are always going up and down. Always. Up is good, down is good, right? It's just one versus the other instead of just one singular stock, for example. And that's a big difference when it comes to trading. Now, the three main pillars and the three things you need to know for trading to build a foundation is these three things. And I always talk about them. Some people already know, but I always repeat them for a reason, right? The first thing is your objective trading system. Write this down, objective trading system. Now, that sounds like a crazy word. Some people are like, oh, what are we talking about? Just look at that word. What is that? Objective means it's either this or it's not. You can either check it off or you can't. It's either green or it's red, right? That's objective. It's not subjective where, oh, I feel like this is going to do. No, we don't feel like anything when it comes to the markets. We have a checklist that we use to enter a trade, and we have a checklist that we use to exit the trade. And those confirmations that you look for, whatever these confirmations may be, it may be on a chart, it may be in the news, you may watch Twitter, you may, look at the sky. I don't know what your confirmation is to get in a trade, right? I know some people, they trade based off what the moon is doing. It can be as crazy as you want. It doesn't matter. As long as you have clarity in your plan and you are using a plan that is proven to work. That's important, right? And I'm going to go back to that in a second. Now, the next thing is your risk management. A lot of people think, oh, but Forex trading. I heard that my neighbor has a friend and his sister lost thousands of euros with Forex, with that crypto thing, that thing. Who heard that? It's always the person that knows the person that knows a person that was completely scammed. So yeah, no, it's not real, right? No, I'm here to tell you, you can choose your risk. If you know someone that lost €1,000 or maybe 10 or maybe whatever, that lost money in trading, just know they were either unknown, uneducated, and they will probably not admit that they didn't know what they were doing. So that's the first thing. Or they were educated and they were kind of gambling and wanted to make it big very fast, get rich quick, right? That's not how it works. I risk 2% to gain 4. It's gonna take a while before I get somewhere, right? Let's say you have €1,000 on the account. You risk 2%, that's €20. So if my trade goes wrong, that can take a couple hours. I might have 3 or 4 trades a week. If I do 3 or 4 trades a week and it goes wrong 3 or 4 times, I will lose 3 or 4 times 2% of my account. Am I gonna go home to my mom crying, oh, I lost 2%, I lost €20 of my 1,000? No. What do people do? They risk €2,000 on a €1,000 account. They lose one trade, they lose it all, and then they go tell everyone about how bad it is. No, they were just behaving bad, right? So your risk management plan is going to be important. And then journaling and reflecting, because along the journey you will see that there are certain triggers, certain situations in your life or within yourself that are holding you back from actually being profitable. I was talking with Jordi, our host. By the way, put some fire in the chat for Jordi. He's doing an amazing job today. But I was having a chat with him yesterday, and he was talking about the last event in Antwerp, the Super Saturday, I believe last weekend. And he said, we always talk about trading is mindset. Trading is 90% mindset. And he said one of the speakers is a phenomenal trader, multiple six-figure trader, phenomenal. He said, no, it's not about mindset. It's about following a simple plan, because have you ever, and look at the traders among us, look yourself in the mirror, have you ever followed a plan for 3 months or longer and not be profitable? A plan, right? A plan means an objective trading system. That means that I can ask you any question and that you can answer that question on what you would do, right? You probably wouldn't. And this is an example of what a strategy can be. A strategy can be 1,000 steps. A strategy can be 3 steps. A strategy can be rocket science, or it can be as simple as drawing a picture, drawing like a mannequin, It can be as simple as you like. Now, the simple strategy that I use has 3 steps. First the first thing I will say is check the bootcamp, of course. We just launched the bootcamp, by the way. So make sure to check it. At the end of the bootcamp, you can get like a certificate that you finished the bootcamp. send it my way, and I will share that on socials, share that in the group chats, so we can have some recognition there. But make sure to check the bootcamp for all the details. Now, the 3 simple steps that I use is step 1 is an arrow. Everyone can see we have a triangle, right? Either green or red. Green is to buy, red is to sell. That's about as easy as it gets. The second thing is when we are buying, we want to have a 2-day pullback. So let's say I want to buy Euro USD. Euro USD needs to be, coming down for at least 2 days before I buy. Why is that? Because if you go buy shoes, if you go buy a new jacket, what are you doing? You are waiting a couple weeks till there are discounts and then you buy, right? I'm just shopping. I'm shopping not in a shopping mall, but on the Forex market, right? I'm just shopping for the best opportunities. And then the last thing is I want to have a sign of reversal, a sign that the market is telling me, hey, we might go up again. And that's our M or W sign, right? For the more experienced traders among us, you probably know that I mainly look for this higher low, right? We have that lowest point right there. I want to see a sign that we have a higher low, something that looks like this. Simple reason, it has been coming down for 2 days straight, so everything goes lower because we just had a 2-day pullback. After that 2-day pullback, what happens? Hey, it starts to go higher. That's a sign of strength. So that's the basic thing that I look for. And then from there, what we do is pretty simple. You enter the trade. You put your stop loss below that low, the stop loss being your protection. And you can put in your settings. You can choose how much that is. So that brings me back to the thing we talked about a couple minutes ago, where people say, oh, I lost it all. No, you chose to lose it all because you didn't know what you were doing and you were treating it wrong, right? I can choose for 2 euros on this trade. That same trade can be a loss of 20 euros. It can be a loss of 200, 2000. It doesn't matter, right? But whatever my risk is going to be, my reward in my personal strategy is a fixed risk to reward ratio. Difficult word for a simple thing. Every 2 that I risk, I potentially gain 4 or 40 or 400 or 4,000, right? The size doesn't matter in this case. The size doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, right? But let's say 2 and 4. Let's say 2 and 4. So that same trade in the beginning, maybe it brought me 4 euros of profit. And now it can give me a different amount of profit, but it's that same trade, that same analysis. So this is a scalable thing, right? Put a 1 in the chat if this still makes sense. Even if you don't have any experience, you don't need to understand it all. But do you think that if you focus on this for a couple hours, that you might be able to understand what we're doing? Yeah, of course. We're looking at a triangle, we're watching the market go down, and we're looking for a W. Pretty easy. And if it keeps going down, cool, I'll accept the loss. If it doesn't, cool, I got my win, right? Now, I don't want to take it too long. So I'm gonna try to keep it short, Jordi. But as you can see, this is a zoomed in version of what it looks like. And this takes about 4 or 5 hours to play out, right? Those that know, you know how I schedule my week. I trade 1 hour a day in the morning with you guys on a live session, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And throughout the day, I got some alarms, I got some alerts, and I check the charts once in a while. But other than that, it's pretty simple. So this triangle that we just looked at, we talked about the objective trading system, which is the reasons for entry. We talked about what is risk management, risking 2 euros to make 4, risking 20 euros to make 40, risking 200 to make 400, right? Because now if I lose 2 and I win 2, I'll still be in big profit. If I lose 2 and I win 1, I'll still do break even, right? And that's an interesting thing within trading, is you can lose more than you win and still make a profit. And when I say lose more, I'm not talking about the amount. I'm talking about the amount of trades. I'm talking about the frequency, right? Now, the cool thing is our frequency, and this is the last 2 weeks with Quadrex, Our frequency has been 12 trades with 2 losses and 2 break-evens, meaning eight profitable trades, right? This is only 2 weeks, by the way. Last week is not included. And I'll show you what it looks like when I analyze a market. This is the scanner that we look at, Quadrix, right? And you see this orange circle. This is what I call a significant high. It's just a high point in the market. You can see that. What's the highest point? My orange circle. From that point, we had more than 2 days that the price was coming down. This is what we call our 2-day pullback. In the bottom there, what can we see? A pretty clear W. So what did I do over here when we had this arrow? I bought the market here, put my stop loss below this low, and my target was up there, right? This took about 12 hours to play out. So in those 12 hours, you can create a risk to reward of 1 to 2, meaning, for example, 4% profit, right? That's an interesting thing. And this is just today, because we have 2 pairs that we're looking at this week. This is the first trade that we have for the week. All right. Now, what's important here to understand is the compounding principle when you do that. And I think that's the same with, like, for example, UGC or any other venture, is in the beginning, you build up your skill, right? In the first half, put a number in the chat of what you would like to reach in, like, let's say 2 years. What is a goal that you would like to reach? Let me know. I see 100K. I see 1 million, 50K, 100, 69. Christy. Cool. 6 figures. Cool. I see a lot of 6 figures. Let's say that this up here is 6 figures, right? Then what is this first half? If you just need to eyeball it, right? If you just need to, like, make an estimation. How can I do that? Oh, I can do it like this. So if this right here, that whole thing is 6 figures, then what is this in the middle going to be? Probably 5,000. Yeah. So that's probably about 5 to 10% of your initial goal. Now, who are you going to be? That's the main question. Who are you going to be when it's that moment? When you are 1 year in, focused. You know, I know most of the people here are team members already. You have been in the markets already. Who are you when things are getting bad? What decisions are you making when you lose a trade, when you lose another trade? Maybe you blow an account, maybe you make a mistake, maybe whatever happens, right? We all have ups and downs. Because if you choose to be disciplined and if you choose to continue on that path, you will see the right side of this story, which is the green rectangle. Now, if you don't, then what's going to happen is you're going to make the decision to just fall off. You're going to make the decision to focus on something else. You're going to make the decision to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to drop this down. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do whatever. And then you're going to have the same result the next year. Only difference now is now you have 2 cycles done. So you are in for 2 years now, but you're still at your 5% or 10% of your initial goal, right? Now, I can show this in numbers and that's all cool, but what if I show it in a calculator? This is the real compounding calculator, right? So you can look this up. This is just an estimate. 650 as a start balance, 5% a week. I just showed you how to make 4% in a trade, right? And you do that for 2 years, right? I'm not saying this is going to be your results. That doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if these are your results, because to be honest, most people don't get these results. Being truly honest, most people don't. And the people that do, it doesn't take 2 years for them because they're locked in, so they go way faster. So actually, the whole calculator thing, in reality, it's always going to be a bit different. But it gives you a sense of understanding of the power of compounding it the right way. Because if you look at it, this is 24 months, right? Where the start is 600 euros and the end is about 100,000. 103. Now, what's in between at 12 months? 7,000, right? So you might be halfway there in terms of time, but your results is only 7%. But the only way to get the other 93% of the results that you're looking for is to continue after that 7%, because the 93% is built upon the first 7. The 93% of that profit, of that result, whatever it's, whatever kind of result you're looking for, it doesn't need to be monetary. It can be a spiritual result. It can be the person you're becoming. It can be a physical, goal, whatever it may be. But if every time it gets hard, you're going to quit or you're going to decide to start over again, just know that every time you're going from half this cycle back to the beginning. So that's a mindset thing, which is so important. And with that being said, now mindset is important. Mindset is 90% of trading. Don't get me wrong. But actually 100% of trading is just following the plan. That's 100% of trading, following the plan. And we as humans, we like to make it so difficult. Yeah, I got these 3 steps. I got this DM I got today. I got the 3 steps, but I shared it in a group chat. And then they said they're going to short it, but I was going to long it, right? I was going to buy and they were selling. So I ended up selling with my friends. Is that your trading plan? Is that your objective trading system? No. So what are you doing? That doesn't make sense. Follow the plan and reflect on the actions that you take, right? So the only reason this works is if you have a proven system. If you follow a plan that's not proven, if you just buy every time the sun shines, that's probably not going to work. That's probably not going to be a good plan. But if you have a systematic system, if you have a systematic result that repeats itself, and you see over and over and over again, like, hey, if I do these 3 steps, if I do these 5 steps, every time this happens. It's like saying every time the clouds are super dark, 8 out of 10, it starts raining. Imagine you can make money off of that. That's basically what trading is. That's basically what it is. But you need to stick to the decision of, oh, the clouds are super dark. I think it's going to rain. You have the confirmations that you're looking for. And again, I'm not looking at the clouds to analyze my charts, but you get the point here, right? So proven system, the right risk management, and stick to that system. The reason people make money though, so the reason this works is different from the reason people make money, because you can learn how to multiply money all you want, but if there is 0 money to begin with, 0 times 1,000 is still 0, right? So the reason this really works is people have cash flow, like for example, through social media, for example, through a job, through a business, through whatever. And then they multiply that through trading, through crypto, through things like this, where consistency actually compounds. And that's the real key. All right. And I can keep going on about this, but I'm gonna quit there because we're already over time. So I'm sorry, guys, for going a bit over time, but I hope you had some value from this, right? And if you want to learn more about this strategy and about trading in general, just plug into the sessions. I know like most of you guys are already have access to the sessions. So just plug in, learn. We do 3 sessions a week. It's super simple. And if there are any questions, just reach out and ask them through Instagram or WhatsApp or Discord. Doesn't matter. All right. Thank you guys. And I want to give it back to Jordi. Jordi, thank you so much for hosting this call.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Put some love in the chat if you're getting value here, and stick on the call because we're not done here. Obviously, if you want to go and sleep or have some other duties, be my guest. But if you're good with we going on for another 10 minutes, let me know. Drop some ones in the chat. And I want to express my gratitude for every single one of you. 1, for being here, sticking with us, and 2, for Jens and Mirjana for making the time, for actually being here, for giving tons and tons and tons of free value. So Jens, thank you for that, man. It's incredible after 3 years, after 4 years, almost 5, let's say 4 years of running together and traveling together and doing this thing together. It blows my mind every single time how much value that I get from you speaking. So yes, All right, I'm gonna wrap the call up with another 10 minutes on something that I believe is super valuable as well for every single one of you, something that can help you alter your life as well. And let me see if I can pull this up. And by the end of the call, I'm gonna do a quick announcement as well. So we're gonna wrap up in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna do my best to get over it in a quite fast way, but please stick with me and keep making some notes. And obviously, if you have some value, drop some more ones in the chat. So we're going to wrap it up with the power of residual income. And residual income is something that we actually all wanna have. Why? First, you need to understand what residual income is. It's like passive income, recurring income. Do something once and get paid for a longer time. Some people here in the chat are being paid today for work that they did yesterday, last month, a year ago, right? So that's what we're going to talk about in the next 10 minutes. First and foremost, take some notes. I have slides with just a few words on, but I would recommend to write this down for those that are taking notes, because this is something that I needed to learn the hard way. Cash flow is king. Let nobody tell you that you need to quit your job after making your first 4 figures online. I've seen people making an extra 500 and they just fired their boss. That's an amazing feeling, but that feeling doesn't last long. Are you with me? So just keep working. Cash flow is king. It gives you peace of mind. It pays the bills. But what are you doing with the time after you work? Work full-time on your job, part-time on your fortune in the beginning, until you can work part-time on your job and full-time on your fortune, until you can go and actually quit your job if that is something that you would want to do. So a lack of cash flow leads to failure. Jens showed how you can go from a couple of hundreds to 6 figures in 2 years. What if you can add money to that every single week or every single month? Because you've put yourself in a position of multiple streams of income, right? The next thing I want to talk about is community is currency. Last week I was preparing a training and I found out a super scary fact. Let's go back 5 years before pandemic. People said to have on average 9.5 close friends. Today that's only 3. And 5 years ago, 3% of all the people in the world said to have no friends. Today, that's 12%. That's times 4, 400% more people, less friends. Isn't that crazy that we live in the most connected time ever, but that we're so disconnected from each other? What if we start valuing people and real relationships more than money? What if we could combine building communities and cash flow and business together so that business becomes fun again? Because making money, there is so much money on the table. There is so much money to be made online. But what if you make all the money in the world and you have no real friends? People all over the world are looking for ways to make money. Most of them online these days. And the difference maker is that we want to be around good people. Nobody cares about Lambos in Dubai no more. That type of marketing that boomed 5 years ago, nobody cares about that anymore. Why? We care about people being real. And that's something that we stand for. We love people. We love helping people, right? But what if you could learn how to build your UGC business, make an extra income with content creation, social media management, trading, for instance, right? Tomorrow we're going to hear about some amazing other ways from some amazing other speakers. But what if you could make an extra income online besides your job, and just by sharing your beautiful experience with others, you can now get another stream of income? Man, Now this is getting interesting, huh? So what if you could get paid residual? So getting paid over and over and over again just by sharing what you love. So then we're talking about the digital franchise, right? So we all know franchises, Burger King, McDo, Starbucks, and then digital franchises like Airbnb, Uber, and Spotify. Do you have any idea how much capital you need to set up a McDo franchise, for instance? And for those that don't know, a franchise is actually you having a complete business, you know, like a McDo. You can literally open a McDonald's by buying their product, but like everything, the brand, let's say, without being owner of the brand, obviously. But at least $1.5 million to set that up. And you cannot choose what type of burgers you like. It's just what's on the menu, right? But who has 1.5 million to start your business career with? I wish you a lot of luck. No? Yeah. Cheeseburgers, huh? Burger King, Starbucks, the same. But what if you could actually open your digital franchise for just a couple of tientjes? We say or in Dutch, Netherlands, they say tientjes, for a couple of dollars, literally, and become an owner of a platform that already exists, that is innovating. You don't need to. You can work with people. You don't have to pay nobody because the company is already paying them. You can choose where you work, with whom you work, from or when you work. You can basically travel, earn money online, and share this idea with other people. And this is something that is an incredible opportunity, because obviously there are some people here that love to speak about everything that they like. If you go to a restaurant, you had a good steak, your best friends probably go too. The question is, are you going to get a free steak next time when you go, huh? Or when you go to the I don't know, like let's say to the movie. Wow, now I realize it has been a long time. Drop a movie in the chat that is been playing now in the cinema. Mate, let's say mate, it's an amazing movie. All your friends gonna go and see that movie, right? So imagine if you just share your experience with others, and it could actually bring in another couple of hundreds, maybe a couple of thousands a month. Now you can go and invest this money into your trading account, into your crypto account or something that you're gonna hear tomorrow. I was thinking that. Okay, so there is a slide. This slide was a slide. I don't know if you ever heard about the cash flow quadrant. I believe it's an important one to share too. I'm not gonna explain everything, but it's important to understand the money game, brothers and sisters. We're all in this. We're all in this. What worked 50 years ago was a winning strategy back then, but it doesn't work today. And I'm just gonna speak facts here. Normally I ask a lot of questions, but I want to respect your time. But in this, we're all in this quadrant. 95% of all the people in the world are on the left-hand side, being an employee working for a boss, or being self-employed working for themselves. 95% of the people is trading their time for money. So even if you're not in trading crypto or Forex yet, you're a trader. You're trading your time for money. It's limited. No freedom is found here. If freedom is something important for you, you can only attain it by going to the right side. What's in the right side? Being a business owner, what I was just explaining, a digital franchise or a franchise is being a business owner. You have a system that works for you. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. Can be an application, can be a platform, it can be people working for you. An extra cash flow now that is coming, and you don't have to put your time in this. Now you can make this money work for you by investing. You will never be free if you work for money. You can only be free if you're making money while you're sleeping. And that's what we tend to make you aware of today, and something that we can help you with as well. So to wrap it up, imagine working a normal job, now having an online income stream, and being in a program of personal development that has a compensation plan attached to it. What would this mean for you? It's not about the amount of money you can make. It's about the person you become in the process and the legacy you leave. And the legacy, I mean, how many lives have you impacted the moment you dive under the ground, huh? If that's even English. So with that being said, fam, I hope you had a lot of value today. If you had some value, drop some zeros or some ones or some twos in the chat. And please clear your schedule for tomorrow, because this was not everything. Tomorrow, we're going to learn about how to trade in crypto. Charlie Del Sol, I have mad respect for this young gentleman. He's potentially one of the best crypto traders in the world. He is a super radically disciplined person. And you're gonna learn a lot tomorrow, right? And then you have Dan Jukes. He's multiple 7 figures a year entrepreneur. He has built a system and helped over 1,000 people become profitable in trading. And he'll teach you tomorrow. He'll say the same, keep your job as long as possible, but what are you doing with the time after, right? He's a 7-figure trader as well. Is an international keynote speaker, spoke on stages with, I believe, at around 10,000 people as well. Had the honor and the privilege to spend some time with him in Portugal, in the Bahamas. But he's gonna really teach you some crazy stuff tomorrow. So be there at 9. If you cannot make it for whatever reason, ask the person that invited you. They're gonna make sure you get the recording, right? So with that being said, just get back to the person that invited you to share some ideas. What did you learn today? What insights did you get? And we hope to see you tomorrow on the call. Have a blessed one. Thank you for being here. And yeah, good night. Ciao, ciao.